welcome to Crystal's Crochet Cubbyhole. Today we are going to be learning the bud pattern, and it is in this book, the New Crochet Stitch Dictionary by Neil Brass and Evelyn Hetty Burkhart, and it is pattern number 041 on page 24. And for this pattern you're going to need some cotton yarn, tape measure if you want to measure for a certain size, a needle for sewing in your ends, scissors for cutting your ends, and then I'm using a 6mm crochet hook. So let's get started. Okay, for the bud pattern we need to do an even stitch count plus one beginning chain. So I am going to do a chain of 30. So we do a slip knot and chain 30. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 28, 29, 30, plus one beginning chain. So there's a chain of 30 and one beginning chain. Now for row 1, we're going into the first chain, well, the second chain from the hook, and we're going to do a single crochet and then a double crochet into that same stitch. Hold on just a second. Okay, my yarn was a little tangled. I had to fix it. Okay, now we are going to skip a stitch or skip a chain, and in the next chain we're going to do a single crochet and a double crochet, all into that same stitch. Then you skip a chain, and then in the next chain you'll do a single crochet and a double crochet into the same stitch. Now repeat that all the way across for row 1. You skip a stitch, and then in the next stitch you will do a single crochet and a double crochet into the same stitch. So I'll meet you near the end. Okay, I'm coming close to the end. I just did a single and a double into that stitch, so I'm skipping a stitch, and in the next one I'm going to do a single crochet and a double crochet into the same stitch, skip a stitch, then do a single and a double. Okay, we're at the end, and I just finished a single crochet and a double crochet. So we're going to skip a chain, and then in this next one we're going to do a single crochet. Now for this last double crochet we're going to do a double crochet 2 together, and this is how you do that. You'll wrap your yarn, go through that same stitch where your single is at, wrap your yarn, pull up a loop. You have 3 loops on your hook. You'll pull through 2. Normally right here you would go ahead and wrap your yarn and pull through those 2, and that would be a double crochet. But instead, to put 2 together, we're going to wrap our yarn, go into the next stitch, wrap our yarn, pull up a loop. We have 4 loops on our hook. Wrap your yarn, pull through 2. You have 3 loops on your hook. Wrap your yarn and pull through all 3, and it pulls those 2 stitches together. And this will also help us have a straight edge. So now that is the end of row 1, and there's what we have so far. Now to start row 2, we're going to chain 1 and turn our work. Now in the top of this double crochet we're going to do a single crochet. So that's the second chain from your hook, or stitch from your hook. We're going to do a single crochet and a double crochet into that same stitch. Okay, now we are going to skip over to our double crochet, which is you're really skipping a chain or skipping a stitch, which is your single crochet, and then that next one is your double crochet. So you're going to go in there and do a single crochet and a double crochet. You're going to skip a stitch, and in that next stitch, which is your double crochet from the row before, you're going to do a single crochet and a double crochet. And you're going to do that all the way across again like we just did on the other row. So you're skipping a stitch, and in the next stitch you're going to do a single crochet and a double crochet, both of those in that same stitch. Skip a stitch and then do a single crochet and a double crochet into this same stitch right here. Now you keep doing that all the way across, and I'll meet you toward the end. Okay, I just finished my single and double. I'm going to skip a stitch, and then I'm going to do a single crochet. Now again, we have this stitch and one more. So we're going to do a double crochet, 2 together again. And I'll show you one more time. You wrap your yarn and go into that same stitch where your single's at. Pull up your yarn, wrap your yarn, pull through 2. Wrap your yarn, go into that last stitch. Wrap your yarn, pull up a loop, go through two loops, 3 loops left on your hook. Wrap your yarn, pull through all 3. That is the end of row 2, and there's what we've got going on so far. So now we're going to chain 1 and turn our work. Now this, for row 3, we're going to go into the top of that double crochet 2 together, and we're going to do a single crochet and a double crochet. And then we're going to skip a stitch, and in the top of that double from the row before, we're going to do a single crochet and a double crochet, all in that same stitch. Oops. There we go. Then skip a stitch, and then again a single crochet and a double crochet, and you'll do that all the way across to the end of this row, row 3, and I'll meet you near the end. Okay, we're coming up on the end of row 3. I just did a single and a double into the same stitch. I'm going to skip a stitch, and then I'm going to do a single, and again we have 1 stitch left after this, so I'm going to do another double crochet 2 together. So we wrap our yarn, go in, pull up a loop, pull through 2, wrap your yarn, go into the very last stitch, pull up a loop. You got 4 loops on your hook, wrap your yarn, pull through 2, wrap your yarn, pull through all 3. And that is a double crochet 2 together. And that is the end of row 3. So you are going to repeat, there's what we got so far. That's pretty. You're going to repeat rows 2 and 3 until you get it the length that you want your washcloth to be. So I'm going to chain 1 and turn my work. And again, you start out with a single and a double in that first stitch right there. It's the second one from your hook. Then you skip a stitch, then single and double, skip a stitch all the way across, and at the end of your row you always do your you'll have 2 stitches left. You'll do your single crochet, then you'll do a double crochet 2 together in those those 2 stitches. Okay, so continue working, and I will meet you back in a little while with the finished washcloth, and we'll see what it looks like. So far I really like the pattern. Okay guys, here's the finished washcloth. I love it. It's a nice stitch. Let me fold it up so you can see it. I still have to sew in my ends, but this bud pattern is really cute. Look at that. So I love it. I like how it feels and everything. So that is our washcloth tutorial for today. I hope you enjoyed it and had fun. It wasn't too awful difficult once we got going on. So just let me know if you enjoyed it or not. I love hearing from you guys, and we'll talk to you later in Crystal's Crochet Cubbyhole. Okay, bye for now.